Hi, sorry this devotion is a day late. We had computer troubles yesterday. But today's devotion, or yesterday's devotion, comes from 1 Samuel 13 with an example of the cost of impatience. At the point of this reading, Samuel is well established as God's prophet, and Saul has been made king over Israel. Listen to a few of the verses, starting at verse 7 again out of chapter 13. Saul remained at Gilgal, and all the troops with him were quaking with fear. He waited 7 days, the time set by Samuel, but Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and Saul's men began to scatter. So he said, "Bring me the burnt offering and the fellowship offerings." And Saul offered up the burnt offering. Just as he finished making the offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. "What have you done?" asked Samuel. Saul replied, "When I saw that the men were scattering, and that you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering." "You have done a foolish thing," Samuel said. "You have not kept the command of the Lord that the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command." Honestly, I can sympathize with King Saul a little bit. He'd waited as he was told, and Samuel hadn't shown when the clock had said he should. So that's a reason to get anxious. And then his troops started to leave him and to scatter. Yet more reason he must have felt to do something, anything. He felt it was up to him to keep things together. After all, he was the king. Yes, he was a king, but he was not a prophet or a priest. And in his panic, like we read, he felt compelled to do the burnt offering, which was not for the king to do. He must have reasoned that since God needed the offering, he could do it so Saul could maintain control of things and move on to success. But what Saul got wrong was just that. Yes, he was king, but he was not in control. God was. God always was and is. And in his impatience, Saul broke the command of God. God didn't need the burnt offering. He wanted Saul's patient obedience. And in his desire to control it all, Saul lost everything. Perhaps we can learn that even in our days of having to wait yet some more for things to be set right, we can learn that God is indeed still in control. That Samuel, so to speak, is still coming, meaning that God will provide the right things and the right people at the right time, which God alone knows is best. I urge us all to keep faith with God and look with patient eagerness to his provision and timing in all things. I pray God's peace continue to be with us all today. Goodbye.